What a stunner of a day here in the South Island. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sky Sport. I'm Kingy Gilbert and we're here at the Rasdex Classic River Race in the beautiful Waimakariri River in the middle of the South Island. Stay tuned, we've got some awesome racing from elite levels right through to age group and single person and double person kayaks as they make their way down this stunning 67 kilometre course from Mount Whitebridge all the way to Waimakariri Gorge Bridge. Kia ora.
Putting a sticker on, you'd think it'd be simple, wouldn't you? But
Awesome. Here with George Berry, expert on this course, coast to coast. You've been watched it for 11 years and some fantastic conditions today.
Yeah, this gorge and this paddle for the Rasdex Classic, it doesn't get any better than this really. It's almost as old as the coast to coast, so an opportunity for guys to come out a couple of weeks beforehand, really test themselves amongst a bit of competition, put themselves under pressure, maybe try and find some lines and see where they're going to go. But yeah, it's wonderful conditions here in Canterbury. I usually try to tell everyone every day's like this, but it's not. You usually get a nor'west at the start of the race and a really cold easterly at the end of the race, but so far I think the weather report's looking like it's going to be a fantastic day. Water's down a little bit, so that's going to be a little bit challenging, but hey, this time last year we had to go to a whole nother river. There was so much water coming down, so you'd have to say conditions are pretty good.
And what for you makes this race so special?
Well, I think it's that. I think it's the big guns are here, the Sam Mansons are here, the Dougal Allens are here, and in the women's you've got Elena Rush. She's won the coast to coast 4 times and she's coming back still trying to test herself on this river. I mean, she knows this river as good as anybody, but she's here trying to win the Rasdex Classic. So there's a lot of history and culture about that, especially in Canterbury. It's an amazing river to go through the Waimakariri Gorge. It's something completely, you just don't get these same sorts of rivers in the North Island or even further south. It starts off with the Braids and then it gets into the gorge, and it really tests you over a couple of hours. It tests you mentally and it tests you physically as well.
I'm a bit jealous. I'm not going to get a jump on the jet boat today. You're heading into the gorge and you're going to see some action. So what do you think will be in store?
Yeah, I can't wait for that actually. It's certainly in that bit. You get into the white water, that's about the halfway point as things start to happen, and that's when people go from being just physically tired to a little bit, have to really mentally switch on. Yeah. There's a number of gnarly little corners in there and some pretty swift eddies. The water's low, so I expect there's going to be a few rocks that we probably haven't seen in the past, so people were kind of thinking they're going to go somewhere and all of a sudden it's like, so I expect that the safety crew are going to be busy up there today.
Awesome. Well, thanks George. We'll come back to you soon with some racing. Here we go. Big walk for this lad. Carrying 2 canoes. How are you feeling?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what I feel like in 5 hours. I think that's the better question. So.
And what's your favourite part of this race?
Yeah, probably the end. No. Some of the rapids are pretty good fun, to be honest. It's just getting down the water every time is always a good laugh when you get there. So it's good times.
Awesome. Thank you, bro. Good luck. Cheers, man.
Bob, they will ask you for 2 pieces of gear to check.
Kia ora everyone, we're here with Jennifer Johns, the race director of the Rasdex Classic River Race. Jennifer, what have the competitors got in store for today?
Well, we're pretty lucky actually, Kingy. We've got a beautiful sunny day with no wind. They've got about 65 kilometres of grade 2 beautiful river to paddle down, starting here and ending up through the gorge at Gorge Bridge.
Wow.
And we've got about 250 entrants, so it's the biggest field we've ever had. Yeah, it's great.
That's huge. And teams, men's and women's, what's the splits there?
Yeah, lots of different categories. We've got an open category which will feature a lot of the elite athletes, right down to novices who this might be their 2nd or 3rd time down the river. And then there's doubles, and then they're split into age groups as well.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different challenging conditions. There's some rapids. What do you think the fastest times or the time range might be for our competitors today?
Yeah, so we're expecting the top guys being about 3.5 hours, probably just after that. And then the bottom end of the field could be anywhere between 5.5 and 6 hours. So it's a long day out for them. Yeah, big spread.
Kia ora, thank you, Jennifer. We'll catch up with you later.
Thank you.
Kia ora. Kia ora, here with Sam Newlands. Just caught up with Sam at a race in Auckland, and now he's here in the middle of the South Island. How long have you been doing whitewater raft, this type of paddling for?
About 3 or 4 years now. I had to move down here for work, and everyone down here does this, so I thought I'd get into it.
Yeah, nice. You got a bit of safety gear here. Take us through some of the things you're going to need today on the race.
So it's all the same stuff as coast to coast actually. So helmet, which hopefully I won't be needing, but if you go upside down, it's probably pretty useful if you stop your head hitting some things. Life jacket, and we have to carry a safety blanket and a whistle and that, and hook up sort of hydration through that. And then we have a bag full of extra clothes and stuff if you get into a bit of trouble, but hopefully again won't be needed.
Will you wear a wetsuit down, or is it pretty warm? Was the plan not to fall in?
Oh no, the spray deck's pretty watertight, and it comes up to sort of mid-waist, and then just wear a little lightweight sort of waterproof jacket over the top of that, so it keeps most of the water off, and it's going to be a pretty hot day today, I think.
Yeah. And so, in terms of the racing side, what are some of the key things you can do to decrease your time of the race and increase your speed?
Yeah, it's a bit different than sort of surf ski racing because, well, you still have to pick lines, but different kind of lines. So here you've got to watch where the water's going, and especially at the top, it often splits off into 2 or 3 braids, and you've got to choose which one's not going to dry up and which one you're going to be the quickest route. And often you watch 2 people split in front of you, and you've got to decide which way you're going to go. It's a bit more interesting.
And then what footwear do you wear? Obviously bare feet, or no? You've got some kind of neoprene.
I don't wear neoprene booties, but I'll probably have to do a long walk one day, and then I'll decide to start wearing them. But touch wood, we're sort of
All right, Sam. Well, thank you so much, bro. Good luck for the race, and we'll catch up with you. Sam's agreed to let us put the GoPro on, so you'll see some of him coming down the Waimakariri. Kia ora.
Cool, thanks.
Oh, how's it going, bro? Beautiful day for it. 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kia ora everyone, we're here with Brett Liske, legend, set up the Rasdex River Race. So how's the evolution of the race been over the years?
Well, we aim to have 200 at the early stages, but the first race we managed to get 80 competitors, and since then it's developed into quite a large race.
What year did you start this race?
It was 1989. I'd thought we needed a good race, and on the back of the coast to coast, which uses the same course, for their leg in the kayak leg in the coast to coast. It seemed to be a ideal place to run and attract competitors from all over New Zealand and the world.
So what will your tips be for some of the newbies getting out there today?
Well, it's a matter of staying in the main channel. There's not many options, and with a flow of only about 40 cumecs, that's about a third of the water that we normally race in. So there may be a lot of walking today.
So how would that happen if you end up walking? What would have gone wrong?
Well, the river it's a braided river, which means that channels form and reform. So one stream will break into two streams, and that the water volume halves, obviously. And if it braids again, you've only got a quarter of the volume of water. And you've got to have depth under your hull to float the boat. But also in rapids, the less water there is, the more the rapids form. So there'll be a lot of broken waves in the rapids. Whereas at 120 cumecs, a lot of the rapids are just standing waves, and they are easier to handle.
Right, interesting. Well, that's some great tips there. Thank you, Brett, for sharing some of your knowledge and insights, and wish you all the best, and I guess we'll see you at the finish.
Yes, I'll be there at the finish, Kingy.
Awesome, absolute honour to talk to you. Legend, founder of this beautiful race here in the South Island. Kia ora, Brett, thank you. Okay, here we are, 8 kilometres into the race. We've come a little bit down the course. We're in the upper Braid section. You'll see some of the paddlers weaving their way through these rapids, and as they come through, they'll be looking to take the best line to get to the gorge first.
Well, welcome to about the halfway point in the Rasdex Classic. This here is where the braids effectively finish, where the braids are spread right across the riverbed. It narrows down into about one channel as we head into the real gorge part of the Waimakariri River. It switches here from a physical game to a bit of a mental game too, because while they've had less water to play with, it really winds into some white water as they get in. The sun is up high too, it's beating down, it's about 25 degrees, so it's going to be a real test for the athletes as they swing into the gorge. Certainly safety is not taken for granted out here. We've got a number of jet boats and there's kayaks in the water all over looking after safety. And plenty of these guys. Doug, you've been out patrolling the rapids. It's a pretty innocuous sort of a rapid, but you've already had to have the throw rope out there. It was almost 101 how to make a catch, so wasn't it? What was going through your mind when you threw that rope out there just before?
I was just making sure that the person was safety, and I had to yell, make sure that he could hear me, and then throw it, make sure you land it right in front of him, right when he's to catch it. So it's a lot harder.
Interesting enough, I see you've only had about one bite of your sandwich, and then all of a sudden you've been busy for the last 10 or 15 minutes. Yeah. Hopefully you'll get back to your sandwich shortly.
Sometime.
Yeah, brilliant. You enjoying your day out here in the sun?
Oh, it's awesome. It's great out here. Thanks.
What do you think of the Rasdex Classic?
Oh, it's good. It's a fun race. It's nice to be out here just helping everybody out.
Brilliant. Well done. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers. Dan, it would have been nicer to have met on better circumstances, but it looks like you've, I was going to say got things under control, but you've started at least.
We've started, so we're fixing the broken paddle using a umbrella stand, which hopefully is going to work.
You've had one.
Unorthodox.
You've had one go at it though. It's got a bit of wood in there, and then all of a sudden you hit the next rapid, and that didn't play ball for you.
The timber didn't work, so that snapped pretty quickly. So I didn't want to paddle one side only, so we've pulled over. Now it's a second DIY in the middle of nowhere. We'll see how we go.
It's one of those things, isn't it? A bit of needs must at the moment.
Yeah. Look at the day. We want to keep going, so we'll give it a go.
Tell us about the river so far. What's it been like?
Oh, it's beautiful, stunning. Yeah, it's amazing. It's what are we, halfway through? Yeah, no, it's awesome. So I really want to keep going. Even though a jet boat ride out would be quite good, today we'll keep going if we can.
This is just a blip in the road and one of those extra challenges to test your mettle a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, no, hopefully it's like this for the big day, coast to coast in a few weeks, in a month, so yeah.
Perfect, mate. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Awesome, here with Dougal, well done, first place.
Thanks, man.
How was it?
It was good, it was hard, hot, long, sort of low river, bit of a headwind towards the end, but it's sort of what we expected, I guess, for today, and it was beautiful, like through that gorge is just stunning.
Did you make a break anywhere?
Well, sort of Sam Manson did by far the most work today, and any time I sort of tried to come through and contribute, I couldn't get past him. He was just pushing so hard. So by the time I finally did was quite late. It was probably with about less than 20k to go. Put my nose in front more because I just wanted to at least contribute something, and that was it. That turned out to be the winning move, which I didn't intend for it to be, but yeah, as I say, Sam did a lot of the work out there today.
Taxing effort there at the finish. I saw you just trying to get going and you flipped over and you said, oh, my arms are dead. I was like, yeah.
I thought, I was just dreaming of getting in the water for about the last hour, and you know, when you do the sport, you sort of want to at least test your roll every now and again. So mine's 50-50, and today, in front of the camera, I'm pretty sure it's on the wrong side of 50, so nice to have a swim anyway.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, Dougal. Champion, Rasdex River Classic 2021.
Thanks, mate.
Awesome. Cheers. Awesome, we're here with the women's champion, Olivia Spencer-Bauer. Congratulations, well done, first place.
Thank you.
And how was it coming down there?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's the first time I've been racing in 6 years, and I had a baby just 11 months ago, so only got on a boat probably about 6-8 weeks ago, because I got a call up from a friend to do the coast to coast with her, so I was like, sure, I'll jump back in a boat. I've been working my butt off the last few weeks to get some core stability back. We did one of the prologue races earlier, and I swam on the last corner, and so I've just been working really hard, and then hadn't quite got to the fitness part, but I was surprised that I didn't expect to win it, to be honest.
Oh, that's fabulous. And what was your favourite part of the race?
To be honest, I just enjoyed the whole thing. Like, having not raced for so long or no expectations, I could just get on the water and just have some fun. I just love the river, so it's awesome.
Well, congratulations, thank you, and let's let you get warm and have a bite to eat and relax.
Thank you so much.
Big day in the office. How was it?
Mate, Kingy, welcome to the finish line, the Rasdex Classic. This is what it's all about. This is, guys have been paddling for 70 odd Ks and they come in here. Probably see by my face, it's nice and red and hot, and it's exhausting day, 28, 29 degrees up there. A few people have had a few swims, rightly so, but it's to be expected. There's a battle up front in the men's between Dougal Allen and Sam Manson, and I talked about it while I was further up the river. Sam got the better of Dougal a couple of weeks ago in Clutha. All of a sudden that role's reversed, so it's going to be interesting. That's a mental game leading into coast to coast in a couple of weeks. And in terms of the women's, Olivia Spencer-Bauer, she had a baby I think 10 months ago. She's an absolute athlete, but to come back and then blitz that. Kate Canby, last year's champion, but she's a veteran, so not in that women's category, but coming in second as well. She spends a lot of time paddling for top sport, so she knows the river, but for her to be able to continually keep up with everyone else at that point shows the quality of what Kate's got.
Absolutely. And a couple of entrepreneurial number 8 wire fix-it jobs I heard coming through the gorge.
Yeah, mate, that was really interesting to come across. Poor old fella out the back here, he'd broken his paddle and he had one go at fixing it with a stick and a bit of duct tape, and then that didn't work. He'd come back again, and one of the guys out of the jet boat managed to find the bottom of an old umbrella, put it together, duct taped it up, and mate, he's going to make the finish line too, which just really goes to show the kind of tenacity that these sorts of guys have got. We talked to him up there, and I'm sure you'll see that during the footage. He just said, I just wanted to make the finish line, I didn't want to finish the race 20 or 30 k's in, he wanted to make the finish line. So pretty cool day all in all.
Yeah, in the beginning they were saying the flow wasn't as strong as some of the previous years, but they can still create some dangerous conditions. So how did it unfold for you guys?
Yeah, it was definitely lower than we expected. I think we're sitting around somewhere between 42, 45 QMX, which is quite low for this time of year. What that does do is it exposes a few rocks that you potentially wouldn't have seen in the past, and some of those eddies, you go from being quite low and slow, and then all of a sudden there's all this pressure that pushes you in towards the side of the rocks.
Awesome. Well, thanks George, pleasure to have you and have your experience and help us at home understand the journey, so thank you and all the best.
And in first place was Dougal Allen with 3 hours 52, which is incredible. And in first place was Olivia Spencer-Bauer with 4 hours 20, so amazing time as well.
There we go folks, an epic day's racing here at the Waimakariri Gorge for the Rasdex Classic River Race. Take care and we'll see you again soon.